So Baron Grutter, he's a cool guy that's done a lot of this pioneering in this world. This is a complex picture here. The good thing is you don't have to understand all this stuff. What you really need to know is that if you look at, here's an implant, here's the bone, here's the tissue, here's that guide tube. So think about a slice. We're looking at this 2 dimensions. Here's that yellow guide tube here, right? Here's the metal sleeve that fits in there. So let's talk about some aspects of this. The guide tube, let's say it's 4 millimeters. Let's say the metal sleeve is 3 millimeters. And let's say this metal sleeve has a little lip over it. That little lip is 0.5 millimeters. So now you can see where that 8.5 comes into play. Because from here, from the implant to the top of this guide tube is 8. But when you add the metal sleeve, it's 0.5. So here you get your offset of 8.5. That's the technical side of all this, is that 8.5 is made up of 2 parts. 8 to the guide tube, 0.5 to the tip of the metal sleeve. Because our drill is going to hub out right here. So the only term you really need to understand is offset, 8.5, and what is that made up of? So what happens if we pull out this metal sleeve out of the equation and go sleeveless? What is our new offset? 8, right? But the software, we set it at 8.5. So what would we need to do to that guide tube to get it to 8.5? Raise it, exactly. So we'd actually have to move the guide tube up to this level. And that's really that's what I do all the time. So, because when you look in the software and you pull it up, the default is actually 8 because it's accounting for a 0.5 metal sleeve lip. And that gives you your 8.5, which fits all your drills and all your drivers. And that's that magic number, 8 plus 0.5. But when you want to go sleeveless, you have to manually go in there and change 8 to 8.5. Now your guide is here, and now you just hub out on your plastic guide, and now you're at that 8.5 offset. So that's one aspect of this offset whole equation.
So assuming you're using a sleeve on Blue Sky Bio, it would tell you your offset is at 8?
8,
so,
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. The offset is going to be 8 because it's going to put your guide tube, the tip of it, 8 from here, and then you know that I've got to push a metal sleeve into this and add that 0.5. And I know it sounds like we're splitting hairs, but that's what guided surgery is. We're splitting hairs. Here's a good example of height. Height here is a little shorter than on the guide tube. If we wanted more height and more engagement, well, we can't really raise this up if we don't want to mess with the offset, but we can make this guide tube come down lower if there's space under here. And now you could get, I mean, theoretically in this case, if this is the tissue, you could have the plastic come to here. And all of that drill is going to be engaging throughout that whole cylinder. So you think about with plastic, you can control how much engagement you have if you want that, right? More friction maybe, but maybe you want more control. So it's just things to consider. I'll tell you, most of the cases, what we do is we just change it to 8.5 and we just let it go and let it do its thing. So there's some theory behind this, but hopefully you guys understand that 8 to 8.5, the difference there.